this is marine wildlife. This is a Hawaii treasure, and they're stealing it. You need two things to be an aquarium collector in Hawaii. It's a pulse and $50. At any given moment, there are 27 million reef wildlife individuals in the aquarium pipeline. The pipeline begins at the point of capture, and it ends when the fish goes belly up in a home aquarium. The mortality rates are about 99% within a year of the point of capture. All those fish demand replacement, and the demand comes from the home hobbyist. That's how the system works.
Oh, I love your background. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. How are you this morning, Paula? Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Incredible documentary, Aquariums, the Dark Hobby. I mean, how can I look at a home aquarium ever again? I mean, I think I'm like millions of people. We had no idea what it took or what the ramifications and consequences of stocking these aquariums. 27 million fish en route to be outsourced and 90% die within a year of capture. Is this, how did you discover that this was going on?
I was snorkeling in Hawaii, and I went back to a place where I had snorkeled about 15 or 17 years earlier when there used to be so many beautiful fish, swimming all around, even hitting you in the ankles, and huge tortoises. And this time in the particular bay where I used to stay, there was only a few fish. And we walked back into the snorkel shop and said to the people working there, it was a Snorkel Bob's, where are all the fish? And the employees said that's exactly what Snorkel Bob's been saying. That's Robert Whitner. He's an activist who has those stores all over Hawaii. And that's how I found out, how the fish were gathered and shipped all over and how they were captured and all of the harmful practices that are done to them. And it was quite shocking because, like everyone else, we love to see these beautiful aquariums. Little did we realize.
Because this affects the fish, the reef, the ocean, and Hawaii is ground zero for this trade. Has the government or anybody taken steps to prevent this?
There's been many, many court battles. The government, sometimes the activists win, such as, in our film, we showed how the case went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they were able to have reef wildlife protected. And then again, it swings back again because there's other interests there who want to gather and transport and sell reef wildlife because it's a vast industry. It earns billions of dollars. And then you have a tourism industry that comes there to see these beautiful creatures on the reef. So there's a lot of different, angles to it.
Yeah, because once these fish die, what was the percentage? Like 99% die within a year in home aquariums. So there's that demand from aquarium owners to replenish the ones that have died. So it's this endless cycle.
Yes, and there's certain people who feel that farmed fish that are grown in captivity, that's the way that they would take care of it. And then other people feel, well, any, conscious being that they don't really want to lock them up in a tank, and have people looking at them. So you have different schools of thought. And I think we just represented all the different people's ideas. But of course, when you look at the fact that these reef fish are so important in the hierarchy of all the species living on the reef, and that if you go in and you remove certain fish from the hierarchy, it's hurting everyone above and below because that may be the food of someone else, and that could, it's as usual. If you go in there and you upset nature's balance, you're going to have consequences.
I was going to say, and speaking of consequences, Paula, billion dollar, multi-billion dollar industry. Was there an element of danger in exposing this? Did you ever have a fear for your life or, because a lot of people make their way with this, right? So I'm sure, were you ever concerned that exposing this might have some consequences for yourself?
I don't think that we as filmmakers were concerned. And we have a really wonderful team. We have like an Oscar winner, Maria Florio. We have Bill Hogsey, who was one of the editors of Hoop Dreams, and he was nominated for the Academy Award. We have all these amazing people involved. And Martin Sheen came on as a producer. But, I think perhaps if there was danger involved, it's the actual activists who work so hard on this all the time. I know that one of them, Renee Umberger, she was diving one time and someone came after her and tried to pull out, the oxygen that she was breathing. So, in that sense,
Okay. As long
yeah.
as no one shows up at your house, Paula, at 3 in the morning saying, stay away from this, like in the movies or something like that. Now, what can the average person do? What is your call to action for this? Is it simply just don't buying them? That simple?
Yeah, the average person, I think, realizing that, again, some of the ways that these fish are caught, not so much in Hawaii, but in the case of Southeast Asian countries where they will go and blow up the coral to get the fish to come out
Oh,
and, spray the fish with cyanide, and then the fish are stunned and it makes it easy to collect them. So there's all sorts of things going on that, you're putting more poison in the water, you're destroying the coral, and the coral is very important because the whole situation on the reef with the small fish that we're talking about, who are these beautiful ones caught for aquariums, they are very involved in eating the algae that grows on the coral. And if they're gone and the algae overgrows, then the coral can die. And the whole process of the coral being on the reef with the algae, everything's kept in perfect balance. And this is how so much oxygen for our planet, even more than the Amazon rainforest, is produced through this synthesis that's going on with the coral reefs. And the oceans are already under so much duress because of plastics, right? Because of garbage. There's all these things that are going on to the oceans, and this is like yet another thing. So I
yes.
think for some people, you have to be aware of our oceans and be aware of removing fish who are naturally there. Let's not take them off, where they're involved in their process, and those are their homes. And it also turns out that a lot of scientific studies recently have shown that fish actually sing. They communicate. They've recorded fish singing in New Zealand and Australia, I believe. And they also get together and make plans to go hunting. They communicate. They have feelings. They feel pain. So, we're doing this to these creatures who have feelings, which is kind of like, when you become aware of that, I think it changes your thinking. So if people will not buy the fish in the first place, they can watch beautiful fish. They put cams down under the ocean and they have these reef cams. And now I think a lot of dentist offices are going to that. You
That's
can go
good.
in and watch the
I think we need to
fish.
call Disney and do new movie of Finding Nemo with a new message, right?
That's a good idea.
Well, Paula, congratulations on all your success. I thank you for bringing awareness to this, and I appreciate your dedication. And good luck with the documentary. And let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate it.